Hello children, how are you? So today I am going to discuss about the money and banking sector. So as we have discussed earlier about the evolution and the concept of money and the main characteristics of money. So today we are going to discuss about the functions of money. Functions of money. So, as we have learned in the last class that money is a part and parcel of our life. We cannot even imagine a moment without money. So, it is a medium of exchange. So, being a medium of exchange, money has some important functions in the monetary economy to play. But in your textbook, there are 4 functions are given, and it is given in a very sweet way so that we can memorize the 4 functions of money. Here one rhyme is given. Money is a matter of function of 4, a medium, a measure, a standard, and a store. So with this rhyme, we have found 4 functions of money. 4 functions of money. So what are the 4 functions? Let us discuss it. First function is that money performs the function of a medium of exchange. So we have already got it that people have developed the concept of barter system. Again they got some problems with the barter system. Then gradually in course of time they have developed the concept of money. So money is used as a function of the medium of exchange. In a society, in a market economy, we are not self-sufficient, as we know that, and we have to depend on each other for our day-to-day things. Then how can we exchange the things? And in barter system, we use the barter system. That system was also a failure. Then we developed the concept of money. Then what happens that nowadays if we have to exchange our day-to-day things, if we need something, if we need to have some goods and services from the other people, then we exchange the goods and services with the help of money. So money is called the medium of exchange. Then we come to the second point. Money acts as a standard of measurement of values of goods and services. All economic goods have prices. And what are the economic goods? The economic goods which are limited in supply. To have those things, we have to pay some value. And when we pay the value of these things, then this value is called price. As we ask, when we buy something, we ask the price of the thing. That means the value of the thing. We express the value of the thing in terms of money. So money, all economic goods have prices. That means all economic goods, we express the economic goods in terms of money. The value of exchange expressed in terms of money is price. When we express the value of money, then it is called price. Okay? So these are the 2 functions about money. Then the third person. Money acts as a standard of deferred payment. Deferred payments are payments made later on and not at the point of time when the product or services. Sometimes payments are delayed. Suppose at the point of transaction we cannot pay the price, then we have to pay in future. Then with what measurement? With what measurement we have to pay the price? We have to pay the price in terms of money. In the future also, we can pay the price of the thing in terms of money. So money can be used as a standard of deferred payments. Standard of deferred payments. Then fourth function of the money. Fourth function of the money. It acts as a store of value. Store of value. So when we were discussing about the barter system, then we found that people could not save the things for the future. Why? Because the things were easily perishable. So they could not save the value of the things for the future. But when the concept of money have come into being in the society, then people started saving the value for the future. We all save because whole part of our income we do not spend. Some of the part of our income we save for the future. We save for the future because to meet the future casualties. But during the system of barter, it was not possible. It was not possible to save for the future. When the concept of money came into being, then people used to save the value for the future to meet future casualties. So it is called that money is used as a store of value for the future. Okay? So I hope that you have got my point. We have already discussed about the functions of money. We have got 4 functions. Okay? So about among the 4 functions, the first 2 functions are known as a primary functions. Apart from these functions, there are also certain contingent functions of money. For example, money transferred from the rich may be utilized for the benefit of the poor, thereby reducing economic inequalities. What is economic inequality? So we can ask, or you can guess, you may have the question in your mind can arise that what is economic inequality? In our society, people earn the money. So some people are earning more and more, and some people cannot earn that much amount of money. So there will be an inequality among the people. So some people are called rich people and some people are called poor people. So there will be an inequality in the society due to the concentration of money in the hands of the richer classes. Then what happens? In a welfare state like India, welfare state means that we have to work for the benefit of the people, welfare of the people. So like the welfare in a welfare state like India, then what we have to do? We should try to minimize the inequality between the rich and the poor so that money cannot be concentrated in the hands of the few people. Money cannot be concentrated in the hands of the few people. So these are the functions, 4 functions of money. Now we are going to discuss about another topic. This is the types or classification of money. Types or classification of money. In a broad sense, money is of 2 types: money of account and money proper. Money of account is merely a concept, an abstract idea. It does not undergo an change. Money proper change it from time to time. What is money proper today will not remain as money proper tomorrow. So there are two concepts are there: money of account and money proper. So let us discuss the types or the kinds of money. So we have got here 15 kinds of money, 15 types of money: commodity money, animal money, metallic money, proper money, legal tender money, non-legal tender money, fiat money, token money, check money, standard money, hot money, dear money, easy money, black money, high power money. So we have got 15 types of money. So what are the 15 types? Let us see. Let us see what are the money types of money. First one is commodity money. Commodity money was used during the time of barter system. When people could not exchange the things against each other due to some difficulties in the barter system, then they started using some commodity as a medium of exchange. This is called commodity money. Suppose in those days some things, some seeds, some pebbles, some stones, etc., some particular things, these things were used as money. So these things were known as commodity money. Then animal money. Again, people found some difficulties in using the commodity money. Then they jumped to using animal money. At that period of ancient times, people started domesticating animals like cows, dogs, goats, elephants, etc., horses, etc. So, among these animals, some animals were used as a medium of exchange. Which animals were they found it easy to exchange? Suppose goat, they started using goat as a medium of exchange. So this is called animal money. Then came metallic money. After animal money, then came metallic money. In course of time, gold and silver came to be used as medium of exchange. Gold, then metallic money, then came paper money. Then when people found it difficult to use metallic money because it was very valuable things and people found it difficult to carry from each other place, so they gradually developed the concept of paper money. Nowadays what we are using are called paper money. Then legal tender money. Legal tender money means that money which is have general acceptability as a medium of exchange is supported by the law of the land. Suppose in India what we are using, the rupees. This rupees is supported or ordered by the law of our land. So we are bound to accept this money. So this is called legal tender money. Then non-legal tender money. Non-legal tender money means when the general acceptability of money as a medium of exchange has no legal support, it becomes non-legal tender money. It becomes, suppose refusal to accept this money will not mean any harm or violation to the law of the land. Suppose say, as we are habituated of using the check money, but it is not a legal tender money, but because anybody may not be ready to accept the check, And it does not mean that it violates the rule of the law in the country. So this is called a non-legal tender money. Then fiat money. Fiat means the authority of the power of the state. State has the supreme power to regularize the money in the country. So this is called fiat money. Then token money. When the face value or written value or embossed value of money is higher than its intrinsic value, then it is called token money. Suppose we are using the notes. They are simply a piece of paper. But in this note or piece of paper, some values are written, and according to these values, we use the money. But the real value of the paper is not so much. Suppose we are using a 500 rupees note. Then real value of the 500 rupees piece of paper is not equal to the amount written in the paper. This is called token money. This is called token money. Then check money. Nowadays, people are generally using checks. So, whether it is a money? No, check is not a money. Why? It does not have general acceptability. A person may accept or he may not accept the check. He cannot be forced to accept the check. If a person keeps some amount of money in the bank, then he is issued a check and he can use against any payment made by him by the checks. But the recipients of the payment have the right, have the authority to accept or not accepting the check. So, check is not a money, and this is called check money, but real sense check is not a money. Then standard money. Standard money is a unit of money. The value of other units of money are related to it. In India, the rupee is a standard money. 1 paisa is a unit, and 1% of it is 1% of 100 paisa. So in every country there is a unit of money, and in India it is called rupees. In America it is called dollar. Like that way, in every country of the world they have their different and unique rupees. Unique money, not rupees, sorry, unique money. So this is called standard money. Then hot money. Money that goes out of the country in the face of socio-economic disorder and uncertainty in the country is hot money. Sometimes what happens in the country due to some socio-economic factor, instability in the life, day-to-day life, economic, market occurs. Then people think that their money, they will face loss, industrialists or bankers, they will face loss. So they prefer to save the money in outside the country. So due to this speculation, instability of money that occurs in the country is called hot money. Then dear money. Dear money results from certain central bank action. Central bank. Every country of the world has a central bank, and it is the main guardian, like a guardian of the banks. In our country, the name of the central bank is Reserve Bank of India. You know that? No, Reserve Bank of India. So Reserve Bank of India, if for example, I am giving an example, suppose the Reserve Bank of India raises its rates of interest, the member banks will borrow less from the Reserve Bank. All the banks in the country that are running, suppose in case of India, they are members of the Reserve Bank, and they can take loans from the Reserve Bank, they can deposit money in the Reserve Bank. So what happens if the Reserve Bank raises the interest rate, then the member banks can borrow less from the Reserve Bank, and as well as they can raise the rate of interest from which they lend to the customers of their customers. Then what happens? The result will that the borrowers will borrow less from the member banks. As a result, the borrowers, the customers, they will borrow less from the member banks of the society. Money thus becomes dearer. Then what happens? The instability of the value of money occurs. At the time, money is not cheaper. Money becomes dearer. So instability of money, at the time this situation, instability of money occurs. Then come number easy or cheap money. When the central bank reduces the interest rate, the member banks borrow more from the central bank and lend more to their borrowers. It is the opposite situation of the dear money. Sometimes the central banks, what happens? They lower the rate of interest to the member banks. So then in that situation, the member banks started taking more loans, and again they started giving more loans in a cheaper rate of interest to the customers. So it is the opposite situation of DA money. Then come black money. Black money is not distinct type of money. Any money can become black money when it is generated through economic offense. If it is not counted, then it becomes black money. There is no any kind of particular black money, but the money what we are using, if it is not counted, then it is become black. For example, tax evasion. Tax evasion, because we are the taxpayers, we are the citizens of the country, then as a citizen of the country, it is our utmost duty to pay taxes. Then some persons, what they do, they try to tax evasion from the state. They try to hide their income, rate of income, so that they can be free from paying tax, and that amount of income become a black money. It is not counted in the government statistics or government accounting, so it becomes a black money. Then high power money. Out of the total money supply in the country, that part which under the direct control of the country's central bank is high power money. By means of this money, the central bank can increase or decrease the money supply in the country. So the utmost right or authority to increase or decrease the supply of money, it is owned by the central bank of every country. In our country, it is owned by the Reserve Bank of India. So it has the authority, it has the power to decide whether the money supply should be increased or money supply should be decreased. So this type of money supply increasing or decreasing decision, we can say that it is high power money. Then okay, so my dear students, we have already discussed these 15 functions of money. So let us stop here and you review the lessons, and if you find any difficulties, then let me know. Thank you.